Sometimes I think many of us have approached certain books or even chapters of the Bible as either too complicated to understand or because things don't jump off the page and we assume that it's just not that important. I'll admit that I used to do that when reading, for example, the Gospel of Matthew chapter 1, because of all the names I couldn't pronounce and wasn't even familiar with because I didn't do the most important thing everyone should do before they start reading the Bible, and that is to start in the beginning, just like you and I have been doing. But what's more is that when we are reading some of these verses that may not have an apparent significance, what we need to remember is that everything, and I do mean everything that is written in the Bible, is there for a reason, no matter how obscure or meaningless we think it may be. Welcome to a beginner's commentary to the book of Genesis, chapter 23. Welcome back to this teaching series. Let's get into chapter 23 with verses 1 through 6. Now, Sarah had lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. Sarah died in Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came in to mourn for Sarah, to weep for her. Then Abraham arose from mourning before his dead and spoke to the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a foreign resident among you. Give me a burial site among you, so that I may bury my dead out of my sight. The sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying to him, Hear us, my lord. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our graves. None of us will refuse you his grave for burying his dead. Now, it is said that the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, was too much for Sarah, too much for her to bear. And that is why the verse begins with noting the years Sarah lived and saying, these were the years of the life of Sarah, because she died soon after the event. Notice the amount of respect given to Abraham in that he is offered the choicest of graves, because Abraham was a man of great honor and integrity, and the Lord was with him. But were they actually showing Abraham great deference, or was there something else going on? Because the text would indicate that they were only willing to give Abraham a piece of land while ownership remained with them, thereby keeping Abraham a foreigner and a sojourner, instead of someone who has his own land. Moving on with verses 7 through 16. So Abraham stood up and bowed to the people of the land, the sons of Heth, and he spoke, saying, If you are willing to let me bury my dead out of my sight, listen to me, and plead with Ephron, the son of Zohar, for me, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he owns, which is at the end of his field. For the full price, let him give it to me in your presence for a burial site. Now, Ephron was sitting among the sons of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham, so that the sons of Heth heard, that is, all who entered the gate of his city, saying, No, my lord, listen to me. I give you the field, and I give you the cave that is in it. In the presence of the sons of my people, I give it to you. Bury your dead. And Abraham bowed before the people of the land, but he spoke to Ephron, so that the people of the land heard, saying, If you will only please listen to me, I will give the price of the field. Accept it from me, so that I may bury my dead there. Then Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, My lord, listen to me. A plot of land worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between me and you? So bury your dead." Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out for Ephron the silver which he had named in the presence of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, currency acceptable to a merchant. Have you ever had someone try to make themselves look good in front of you or other people by doing or saying something that makes it look like they're doing something that is so gracious when in fact they are doing it because they have other intentions? Did you know that someone actually did something for you that was so great that wasn't to make themselves look good, but to give a future and a hope? And this same person is not asking you to pay them money that you couldn't possibly come up with, because the value of this gift is so priceless. And since it's a gift, you cannot pay for it. All you have to do is trust in him. In fact, if you put your trust in him, he said that you will be with him in paradise. That is literally an offer that is too good to be true, too good to pass up. So what are you going to do? Are you going to call upon the name of the Lord and be saved, transformed? You see, we are all going to die. But to everyone, but not everyone, is going to feel the sting of death and what comes next because of the decisions made to live according to your own values and what seems right in your own mind. If you want to dedicate or rededicate your life to the Lord, then comment below, dedicate. And we can connect so I can help you make sense of the most important decision of your life. And if you comment redirect, then I can pray for you. Rededicate, then I can pray for you. Okay, let's get back to the commentary. Notice how all of this had to be done in front of others. Also notice that Heth decides on the measly amount of 400 shekels of silver, which is equivalent to $4 million in today's money. So this begs the question, was Heth really being magnanimous or highly manipulative? What's 400 shekels between friends, especially for someone of your considerable wealth? Now we're going to fast forward just a bit because it's important. Because we are going to see that the patriarchs get buried there. And do you have any idea where the cave of Machpelah is today? It is on the West Bank. Continuing with verses 17 through 20. So Ephron's field, which was in Machpelah, which faced Mamre, the field and the cave which is in it, and all the trees which were in the field that were within all the confines of its borders, were deeded over to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who entered the gate of his city. After this, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave of the field of Machpelah, facing Mamre, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave that was in it was deeded over to Abraham for a burial site by the sons of Heth. So, who owns this land? According to my Bible and what we just read, Abraham does. And that would mean so does his descendants after him, much like the mineral rights that my brothers and sisters and I own, that was purchased by our grandparents and handed down to my parents, and of course handed down to me and my brothers and sisters. And I know it will also be handed down to our children. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance towards you and give you peace. Amen. See you in the next video.